Welcome to the Infinite Evolution Podcast, where you'll receive keys and codes to help you unlock your next level of joy, radiance, health, wealth, intuition, embodiment, and soul purpose. This is a space for lightworkers, healers, spiritual entrepreneurs, and anyone who wants to share their soul gifts with the world. We'll be exploring personal, spiritual, and professional growth and ascension through both the esoteric and magical and the tangible and practical. I'm Casey Aileen Knight, coach, mentor, as well as divine channel and soul gift activator. I founded the Luminous Evolution brand to help you elevate your business and beingness and light up the world. So glad you're here. Let's dive in. Let's talk about being too much and not enough, and generally being judged and projected upon for your authentic expression and your inauthentic expression. Basically, I have experienced this, and I'm sure you have too. People are going to have all kinds of opinions about who we are and what we're doing. I have a 5-line in human design, and one of the things that comes along with that, including being able to be an incredible teacher that someone sees as an authority of a subject, it also means that people project all over us. I personally know that I am a sacred mirror for people, and they see what they are typically. And a lot of people are in deep self-judgment. Like very deep self-judgment. They're very critical of themselves. And so they express that critique to other people too. What I have come to know, and I've heard, and this quote's always resonated with me, someone who is doing more than you is never going to judge you, right? It's only people who are trying to punch up, right? People don't punch down. The masters, the people who are really killing it, they're going to celebrate you, or they're not even going to notice you because they are in their own lane. But a lot of us have been in hiding our magic, hiding our truth, hiding our authenticity, masking to fit in. I've done it all my life. I've done it to keep myself what I perceive to be safer. Right? To not get exiled out into the desert again. Like I remember from so many past lives where my magic would kick in, I would be a divine channel, people would get freaked out, and they would send me out alone as a prepubescent girl into the desert just to wander around alone until I died. I've had to heal a lot of these lifetimes, including other ones where my magic got other people in trouble or got me killed in other ways. There's also the collective wounding of being burned at the stake, being drawn and quartered, stoned to death. All kinds of crap is in our ancestral, Akashic, collective, and personal understanding. And a lot of this even goes back to our childhood, right? Where if you were too much or not enough or something like that, people would ostracize you, people would bully you, people would make fun of you. That is unfortunately an experience that I think most humans have had. And it sucks, and it creates a lot of wounds. Our nervous system gets triggered by people's judgments because it just doesn't feel safe in our body. When you're being called to leadership, to run a business as a spiritual entrepreneur, to be a spiritual teacher or something like that, we have to do a crap ton of healing and clearing and create the safety inside of ourselves so that we can show up in our fullness, in our authenticity, in our full liberated soul light and all of that. So our soulmate clients can see us and find us and feel us and hire us and get inspired by us. But there's this really important part of the journey where we have to create that safety inside of ourselves instead of looking for it externally. Because when you are out in the world, people are going to have opinions. You are going to be polarizing if you are in your full light. it makes you magnetic. Just remember the magnets have two poles, right? There's one that magnetizes and one that repels. And people are going to be repelled by your authenticity. People are going to judge it. People are going to project their shit on it because they're judging themselves. And it's not an easy position to be in. I know for me, my story was basically this journey of coming to create the safety I needed inside of myself by doing all the healing work on all the levels and layers that was necessary so that I could show up and speak my voice authentically and be the unhinged, wild, spiritual entrepreneur / teacher / leader that I am today, that gets to guide my clients and make great money through my magic. It wasn't easy for me to get here. In fact, I was reluctantly dragged here by spirit. I was warned by spirit when I was just 8 years old with this beautiful prophecy that scared the crap out of me. You've probably heard the story about spirit coming to me and being like, you're going to be a spiritual teacher with all this divine love and light that was enrapturing me, and it felt so good. It was so divine, but like the actual prophecy scared the crap out of me because it was like, you're going to be a global teacher. I think this was shortly after I had watched something about the crucifixion of Christ in my Catholic school when I was a kid. And so I was like, I don't think that people like spiritual teachers, like even the really divine ones, they crucify them. And so like, I mean, they crucified Jesus, so what are they going to do to little old me? I'm just a kid. It's not for me. And Spirit's like, no, when you're older. But I didn't get more information than that. And I ran from this. I hid it. I hid my magic. I was always a mystic. I was always too much. I was always weird. And I always felt like I didn't fit in. And I did my best to either disassociate or hide it. I remember thinking when I was younger that I could literally have anything or do anything or be anything that I wanted. So I better not be greedy and I better not stick out. So I better dial it down to fit in, right? Because that was safe. My Akashics were showing all of that wounding from the past lives, from the collective, from other experiences in my childhood. You know, where people are like, why are you dancing? And I was like, what do you mean, why am I dancing? Well, there's no music playing. Oh, well, I have music in my head. Okay, well, that's too much. You sneeze too loud. You speak too loud. You're too joyful. You're too boisterous. You are too weird. You're too woo. You're too much, right? I was given that message, especially about my joy, especially about my happiness and my faith, a lot. And I've lost sisters, girlfriends, people that were so close to me at some point, and this has happened 5 or 6 times in my conscious memory, where I'd be really close to somebody and then suddenly I would trigger them and I would be too much and they would just decide that they couldn't handle it. And typically it was because I would be rising in some kind of frequency, elevation, evolution experience, getting more connected to my inner authority or my light or my voice or my dreams or my passion. I was always constantly evolving, healing, doing the work. And they would be like, oh, you are not safe to be around anymore because the light is really irritating the pieces of me that are not feeling good about who I am. So when you are happy or when you are saying that all these things are possible or you're just being yourself, it is illuminating for me some pieces in the sacred mirror that I don't want to see. So they would reject me. They would tell me I'm too much, just too much to be around. Or sometimes it would be, you're wrong, you're bad. How dare you say that these things are possible? Don't you know that life is misery and pain? And I'd be like, oh, I know it is. And also there is this beautiful, magical part to it as well, right? It's happened over and over again. And I came to understand it so much more fully when I learned my human design, when I learned that about that unconscious 5-line, when I learned that people, literally my role is to trigger people. And I had actually kind of figured that out, that I was supposed to trigger people and it was a gift earlier than the human design awareness, but like it wasn't any easier, except when I remembered that triggers are gifts. And if somebody triggers me, I use it as an opportunity to reflect about what needs to be healed in me, right? It's always about me, not them. Some of my favorite people in the world are my clients who will hire me because I triggered them. And they're like, usually talking about my light or my unbridled enthusiasm or my joy or something. And they're like, I thought it was way too much. And then I realized I actually want some of that. And so they ran towards it. And I'm just like, you're such a badass. I freaking love you. Because this is the thing. Triggers are gifts. Triggering someone else is a gift that they don't have to open. They can reject your gift. And I'm not saying triggering people on purpose. That's not what I mean. I don't mean being triggering on purpose and controversial on purpose. But when you're in your full authentic light, you are going to trigger people literally just by existing, because people are afraid of it. People just are overwhelmed by it. Even if you are radiating divine love, if somebody is loathing, self-loathing, in self-hatred, that love is going to feel fake, phony, and false to them because it's too far of a frequency mismatch and they cannot truly feel it and understand it, right? Until they shift up and they do the healing work so that they can access that frequency and understand it for themselves and feel it for themselves. We're going to be too much for so many people. But in the esteemed words of Elise Myers, if I'm too much, go find less. Just breathe that in for a second. If I'm too much, go find less, right? If people are not into it, they don't have to stick around for it. And in a world that is going to judge you for being too much or not enough, sometimes in the same freaking breath, I know I would rather be too much for them because I am just going to be the right amount for someone else. The liberated soul light, full resonant, authentic expression of my human divinity embodied in me is magnetic to my people. They feel it and they go, oh my God, where have you been all my life? Oh my God, soul family, there you are. And other people are like, whoa, no, I don't like it. And that's not good or wrong or bad or any of that. It's just sort of a sorting machine, kind of like the sorting hat in Harry Potter. There is this opportunity for your light, your expression, your truth, your radiance to show you who you're here to work with. They're gonna feel you. But remember, if you're masked and you're hiding yourself, you're gonna attract people who are a match for the mask. You're gonna attract people who are a match for the version of you, the watered down or distorted version of you. Because if we're being truthful, when we are masking, it is a distortion of who we really are. They're going to get in and they're going to work with you. And it's not going to be the soulmate, oh my God, this work is amazing, it's so great fit. So if you are a healer, a teacher, if you are doing client services, if you are working with people, I think it's our responsibility to be authentic in our voice and expression. So the people we're here to serve, that we're destined to work with, that we have soul contracts waiting for us to be in that most liberated expression so that they can feel us and find us. I think it's also our responsibility in times of absolute insanity on this planet to be the lighthouse. And that also means clearing off all the crap that's in the way of us shining our light, our doubts, our programs and beliefs that are making us think that we're less than or that we can't, show up in our fullness or realness or authenticity. All of that energy puts us into hiding. All of that energy keeps us from fully shining and feeling the freedom that comes with that liberated authenticity. So authenticity is one of the highest, if not the highest frequency. I think divine love plus authenticity is like the 1-2 combo punch there. But when we are authentic, again, it's magnetic, and it's magnetic in that it attracts and it repels. When we are feeling like our soul light is just shining and we're in our truth, we're in our authenticity, it is so sparkly. It's when we're using that life force energy and passion, and we're allowing it to light us up, to be luminous, to be in that energy. Oh my gosh, it's intoxicating when you're around people who are truly embodying it. It's intoxicating, and it gives you either the ick because you're like, whoa, this person's too much, or it will totally give you permission to do more of that yourself, and you will get the codes from them about it. Whenever I see someone in their magnetic, authentic expression, and they're in their passion and their purpose, and their life force energy is flowing, they've usually got that sensual, sexual, deeply embodied energy. I'm just like, oh my God, yes, I am instantly turned on. I am just like obsessed with that energy because it feels really good to me, but it's a frequency match for me. You know, even if I'm not at the level of expression that some people are, I've been working on this for a while. I have shed the outdated systems and beliefs, and I've healed my nervous system enough to be able to feel it and be like, yes, this feels like truth. It feels so good. Truth feels good in the body when we are basically clear enough, clean enough, healed enough to receive it. If we're not, truth can feel like a trigger that feels awful, right? It's always all coming back to the nervous system and to our capacity to feel frequencies. How clean and clear are you? Right. Another thing about this wild, wacky, crazy, tumultuous time that we are in that requires us, I think, responsible creators who are here to be helpers and leaders and healers and teachers, is that we're being called to like be a beacon so people can find us, because there's so many dysresonant people out there who are just full of whatever distortions or just things that you don't resonate with because they're playing a different game, or their interest, they're just, their energy is not what vibes with you. They're really loud, right? They're really loud out there in the world, and we need to be just as visible, just as loud energetically. I'm not saying you have to go out there and scream, but I do want us to be luminous and shiny and available to be seen. I want you to be available to be seen. So I have a bunch of opportunities for you to explore this energy, because I am obsessed with it. If you are listening right around the beginning of February, there is a micromind experience that you can hop into for $33 with me, $111 when we go to the regular price, but $33 is the early bird. That's a taste of my mastermind. I have a mastermind called Luminous. The micromind is called Luminous Shiny AF, which stands for shiny as fuck. And it is happening with the Aquarius full moon, the Leo full moon with the sun in Aquarius, where we're dissolving the blocks to your brilliance as a visionary leader so that you can really be in your divine light. And we're doing Akashic, evolutionary alchemy, clearing, healing, subconscious reprogramming, but more importantly, the embodiment coaching so that you can be it. And we're not going to leave anything off the table because I work in the unified field. So we're working with the body, with the nervous system, with the subconscious and the superconscious mind, with the divine pieces, the emotional pieces, the physical pieces, the action pieces. It is going to be 1 week of an intensive where you can be experiencing all of this clearing, coaching, and healing with me so you can show up in your most luminous, shiny as fuck leader self, like a lighthouse leader, and then you can be the magnet to miracles, to your people, to the people you're here to serve, which increases your impact. Because, you know, if you've been hiding, wearing an invisibility cloak, or not showing up and shining, your people can't find you and feel you. But it also has so much to do with your income, your abundance, the impact that you're making, right? I know you're here to do big things. If you think you are, yes, I believe you. It's on your heart. It's a truth. And you need to clear these visibility wounds so that you can go to the next level. Because even if you have some visibility, like you've been living a life like me, where, you're cool showing up at one level, maybe in front of, 5 to 10,000 people on your social media platforms and your podcast and your YouTube and whatever, speaking on summits, doing all that, that's great. But the expansion into the next level takes a bit of clearing and healing and nervous system regulation to get to the next level of the fame that might also come with infamy, right? Part of this energy, part of what we're working on in both the micromind and the mastermind luminous, which is by application only, but you can take a peek at that. It is all about becoming unfuckwithable even when people are fucking with you, when they are projecting their shit upon you. It is owning your role as a sacred mirror who is an authority, who is going to show you who you are. So there is so much to explore here. I cannot wait to dive in with you. And I would love to just inspire you to remember that there is always a next level of how shiny you can be. There is infinite amounts of glittery soul energy waiting to be liberated. There's always a next level of luminosity. There is always more that you can explore because it is an infinite evolution. Come and play, take this energy, and go forth and be shiny, my love. The world needs your light now more than ever. And the more potent and present you are with your authentic expression, the more you can do. The more truth will liberate you and also magnetize to you the miracles, the synchronicities, the clients, the opportunities, and all of the things that I know you are desiring at your core. Even if you are working through some worthiness shit, even if you are working through some beliefs that you can't, or it's for other people or whatever, there's a feeling in you inside, probably your solar plexus, where it just feels like you have this desire to have this impact, to be maybe not famous, but to be known, to be respected. That's not your ego, darling. That's your soul. That's your soul telling you what you're here to do. Let me help you. If it resonates, check out the links to basically any of my programs because they all touch on this at some level. But the high proximity mastermind or one-on-one mentorship is where we really can fly with this. So have some fun with it too. Remember, it doesn't have to be so serious. In fact, the more unhinged you can be and the more wild you can express yourself, the more magnetic it will be too. So, sending you all of the love. Let's fucking go. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you've enjoyed this episode, please make sure to subscribe and share this out to people that need to hear it. Tag us on social media. You can find us at The Luminous Evolution on Instagram. And keep the conversation going by joining my free sacred community, Luminous Evolution, on Facebook, and get a taste of my favorite tools and techniques inside my free Frequency Upgrade Academy. You can also join me inside my membership, mastermind, certification programs, or private coaching to be deeply supported on your evolutionary journey. Make sure to check out the links in the show notes, and cheers to your infinite, luminous evolution.